Listen to this. Oh.
Trends.
Hey guys, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. And welcome back to another video with my A45S AMG. As you would have seen recently on the channel, I took this car up to Cobra Sport HQ up in Sheffield to have the full catback exhaust fitted, meaning that this car now has a full turbo back system. Now, before we go out in the car and show you how good it sounds, I will run you through exactly what we've got on it, because it's a lot of different specs for you to share. But yeah, this thing sounds absolutely nuts now. So I thought it would be rude not to do a dedicated video showcasing exactly that. So the project with this car is coming along really, really well now. I've had the car for about 9 months now at the time of recording this video. And to be honest, we've been fairly busy with development and also a fair lot of upgrades. The car, as you probably know now, is running just shy of 500 horsepower, literally half a horsepower shy of 500. It's running a stage 2 package, which means that we do need to have some hardware to really make the most of that power and unlock that power. Now, opening the bonnet, we can see the start of the exhaust system. Of course, still running the standard turbo, potentially some more news on that soon, but this is the first part of the exhaust which we upgraded. This is the Cobra Sport and EST collaborative sports cat. It's a 200 cell sports cat and really transformed the sound of the car, because the standard cat and OPF was all built into one. It was a massive system, in fact absolutely massive down in there, but of course replacing this with a still slightly restrictive and also Euro 6 compliant downpipe really unlocked a lot of sound. That was the first thing that we did, along with the Venturi intake, along with the stage 2 ECU software. But then recently, closing this back down quickly, we headed up to Cobra Sport in Sheffield, as I mentioned, for the full catback system, because when we had the stage 2 installed, the rest of the exhaust was completely stock and very, very restrictive indeed. Now, with this car and also all the other cars which Cobra do catbacks for, there is a whole different array of choices you can make when speccing your catback. And with this car, I did go quite safe. Of course, we're running the Euro 6 compliant 200 cell sports cat at the front. And with this car, I didn't want drone, because I do have plans for the interior eventually. And I really didn't want to have drone when taking maybe some of the sound deadening out of the car. So what we did was a resonated and valved catback system. It's a 3-inch pipework all the way through. Does sound absolutely amazing linked with the sports cat, as we will show very soon. And the reason I went for that is this car has a lot of driving modes and also an active valve from standard. I wanted to keep that, hence why we went for the valve system. It has a smaller back box under here and also switches over the valve system, the OEM valve controller, over to this exhaust as well. And I stuck a resonator in there. I could always take it out somewhere down the line if I feel I want to unlock a little bit more sound. But for now, that is what I went for. You will notice the tips are still standard, because these are actually, I suppose, fake tips. There isn't actually 4 exhaust pipes. It's one on each side, a bit like what you get on the A35. And so these are actually kind of bonded into the bumper. So you probably can change them, but for this, we kept the standard OEM ones. But that's what we got on the car, for those of you who missed the previous videos of everything all being installed. But I'm gonna get this started up and go make some noise, because this thing sounds ridiculous now. Oh, it'll never get boring. Never get boring. And now, with that enhanced sound, oh, it's just all coming together. All coming together. And the hotter it gets, the better it sounds. I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm gonna have to try and hold back some of my silly giggles, but it's really hard when driving this thing. It really is. Really is. Got the little sunroof open as well, so we can get some of the sound in. So with this system, actually, what I wanted to do, and I've hinted about this and maybe spoken about it in previous videos, is I didn't want to go too crazy. I wanted to enhance the sound that's there, but I didn't want to overpower it. Now, this engine, a great engine, perhaps not the best sounding engine compared to, well, for example, the car that this replaced, the M140i. Inline 6, 3 litre, great sounding engine, the B58. This, good sounding engine, but it's a 4-pot. There's only so much that you can do with a 4-pot, and I didn't want to make that sound overpowering, as I mentioned. Like, I've got plans, to be honest, this build can go any one direction, to be honest, and I could always change it at a later date. As I mentioned, Cobra Sport do a whole range of different things. In fact, if you want to completely straight pipe the car, you can do that. That's no problem. But the main reason I went for this is because when I then put this back into comfort, automatically the valve closes, and that also represents with the actual valve back there as well, because if I did completely straight pipe it, no matter how many times I press this button, it would do nothing because it takes out that valve, which some people may like. Maybe one day down the line I would do something like that, but for me at the moment I wanted that valve, and it's really nice that an aftermarket company actually offers that, because I mean, these cars are used probably quite a lot in some cases. In my case, not enough, but to have that option is a big plus point. This car is just really starting to make sense now. It's all coming together, as I mentioned. You've got the exhaust noise, you've got the emotion from the car now in the way that it sounds, and you've also got the induction noise. I mean, see if I can maybe actually close the valves just for now, see if I can demonstrate the induction noise. Comfort mode. It sounds incredible. I'm unsure how much of that you're gonna really pick up, but another thing we did as well, of course, when this car was stage 2 tuned, Jamie at EST did enhance the burbles and crackles a little bit more, as you can hear. We didn't want to go too mad though, as you can probably hear. It's pretty much like a slight enhancement of the OEM pops and crackles that you get, because this car does pop and crack on the standard software. One thing I did notice as well, going from just having the downpipe installed and then going to the full system, is the tone of the exhaust actually. The bore of the catback itself is actually a lot wider than the standard catback that was on the car. And that has actually resulted in a slightly deeper tone, which is interesting. It's interesting how the width of something can affect how a car sounds. So it went from a slightly higher pitched tone when I just had the catback installed to a slightly deeper tone when we then combine that with the catback, which is interesting, really interesting. And the heavens are opening now as well. Brilliant. See if we can get a launch on some wet ground. I'm gonna turn traction back on actually, because I've always done it with traction off, but I didn't realise that you can still do it with... Oh yeah, it does kick it back actually. I thought you had to have traction off in order to do launch, but you don't. Someone in the comments said that you can do it with traction on, but there, obviously, wet ground, it does hold it back a little bit. Even just half throttle. Those shifts now are savage. So yeah, for me, this system is bang on perfect. It's not too much, it's a noticeable enhancement and improvement of what it is. I think it sounds mental. And from what I've heard from some friends whilst we've been out for some drives, it sounds pretty good from the outside. So hopefully you're hearing that as well. And one thing I have done as well is turn down the interior fake noise as much as I can. You can't turn it fully off, I don't think, at least not yet, but we have turned it down as much as we can. You do have to hold on a surprising amount as well with this car. It's not just a completely point and shoot car, especially when you get some rain on the ground. It can get a little bit fishtaily, which is good fun. I like it. Now for what I'm going to demonstrate now, I'm going to put the sunroof completely open. Now another situation where this car sounds really good is actually when you do launch. Obviously, naturally it does sound good when you set off, but when it's actually building the boost, listen to this. Oh. Oh, I love it. Such a ridiculous car. Now it has the vocals to back it up as well, and a big thank you to Cobra Sport for what they've done on the development work on the A45S, because I mean this car's standard just didn't sound much like most cars nowadays. RS38Y for example, they just don't sound like an RS3 straight off the bat. I mean this bit of road as well is incredible. Ah, they see what I mean there? Back end kicks out a little bit. Yep. Can get a little bit lively. Such good fun, and I'm really excited to see where this project goes because it is nowhere near being finished. There's still plenty of work going on behind the scenes to really, you know, make the most of this car, because it has an awful lot of potential, as I've spoken about quite a bit in the past. But of course, as I mentioned, a big shout out to Cobra Sport for really transforming the A45S and how it sounds. If you do want to get a nice little discount, you can find all the information down in the description down below. They do systems for most cars on the road, so go check it out if you're wondering what they can offer for your car. For me today though, that is going to wrap things up. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please do make sure you leave a like and make sure to subscribe for all the adventures still to come.